A very good morning. Today we are going to discuss one important portion of Transfer of Property Act, which is talking about condition restraining alienation. Section 10, Transfer of Property Act. Section 10 is talking about a condition which is restraining any kind of alienation. At first, the meaning of alienation is transfer. In a general sense, I am not talking about in a technical sense. The meaning of alienation is transfer if there is any kind of transfer which is having certain kinds of condition which restrain further transaction, which restrain further transfer of property. It is an important doctrine under Section 10 of Transfer of Property Act. Before discussing this doctrine, I would like to share certain important things about Transfer of Property Act. Firstly, there are few sections which are just purely dealing with doctrines. They are just doctrine. We can impose these doctrine in any kind of transfer. For example, if I am talking about condition restraining alienation, we cannot find direct examples of the condition restraining alienation. There must be certain kind of transfer. It may be by way of sale, mortgage, lease, charge, or any kind of actionable claim, exchange, gift. So if there is a transaction, if there is a transfer of property, we can impose these doctrines. Okay, so directly we cannot apply these doctrines. If there is a transaction, then we can we can apply any kind of doctrine which is mentioned in the Transfer of Property Act. At first, we are talking about condition. Any kind of condition at the time of transaction of the property. So the first important thing which is required for this doctrine mentioned under Section 10 of Transfer of Property Act is talking about condition where property is transferred. So first essential is there is a property. Generally, sale of goods deals with movable properties and Transfer of Property Act deals with immovable property. Okay, so where the property is transferred and it is subject to a condition. Second thing, we are talking about condition. There is a property is transferred by way of sale, mortgage, lease, anything, etc. And there is a condition imposed by transferor on that property. It means subject matter here is the property. Okay, if we are dealing these sections, section 5 to 37 are equally applicable to movable properties. Kindly remember it. So if there is any kind of property, whether it is movable or immovable property, and at the time of transfer of that property, one condition is imposed by transferor. Okay, and that condition absolutely restraining the transferee, okay, or any another person claiming under the transferee from disposing of his interest in property. Okay, there is a property and transferor imposing a condition on the property. The transferee is not allowed or absolutely restrained by the transferor to further dispose of his property. Okay, so doctrine is talking about that there is a property, transferor is transferring this property by way of any kind of transfer, sale, mortgage, lease. Okay, now the property is in the hands of the transferee, but at the time of transferor imposed a condition that transfer is not allowed or absolutely restrained to dispose of his property. For example, I am selling a house to X. Okay, I am the seller, he is the buyer, I am the transferor, he is the transferee. Okay, I am transferring a property, a house in the name of that X, and now at the time of transfer in the sale deed, I made a condition that I am giving this house to X, but X is not allowed, or he is absolutely restrained to further dispose of his property. The property is sold by me, but he is not allowed to further transfer his property. Only he, and he can be the owner of that property. He cannot make a will, he cannot give that property, he cannot dispose of, he cannot give, he cannot lease that property. In that sense, the transfer is valid, but condition is void. This condition is not restraining or not making that transfer void. So kindly remember, transfer made by me is valid. I am the seller, he is the buyer, it is valid. One. Second thing, that person who is purchasing that property, that person is a transferee, he can dispose of that property as per his wish, because he paid consideration. Now he is the owner. I cannot put such kind of condition which is absolutely, I am just talking about absolutely restraining the further transaction of that property. Transfer valid. I made a, he is the buyer, he is the owner, and that's why he can dispose of that property. So remember, absolutely restraining conditions are conditions void, but alienation valid. We are not challenging the validity of the transaction, we are just challenging the condition. Okay, so any stipulation, any condition made by the transferor is void if it is absolutely restraining the transferee to further dispose of his property. So kindly remember, here we are just talking about the conditions. Second thing, remember in second stage when we are talking about conditions, suppose I am transferring the house to X, and at the time of that transfer I am saying that he can dispose of that property to anyone except A. He is allowed to dispose of that property, he is the owner, but kindly do not sell this out to A. This is my condition. Okay, in that sense it is a valid condition made by me, because this section just imposing a restriction on the absolute restrainment of property. Okay, if there is a partial restraint on the property to further transfer that property, it is valid one. So remember, person who is the transferor imposing a condition to absolute restrain the transferee to further to dispose of his property, it is void. Condition void, transfer valid. In the second situation where the transferor making a condition, it is just a partial condition, you can sell it out but not to the A, to anyone else, then it is a valid condition. Third thing, there are two exceptions given in the section 10. If there is a transfer, okay, and transferor imposed a condition in case of lease and it is beneficial to lessor. Okay, in that situation it is an exception to section 10. And second thing, if there is a transfer in favor of a woman who is not being a Hindu, Muslim or Buddhist, the transfer is valid. Okay, so if there is any property subject to a condition, absolutely. If it is partial, then it is valid. Remember, if it is partial, it is valid. Third thing, the transferee for disposing of his interest, there are two exceptions in case of lease. If the condition is in favor of the lessor, it is valid, or if there is a transfer in favor of a woman who is not being a Hindu, Muslim or Buddhist, it is valid. So section 10 is imposing on the movable as well as the movable properties. Both, it is a doctrine. In case if there is a sale, we can impose this case. If there is a lease, we can impose this doctrine. If there is a mortgage, we can impose this doctrine. But these are just doctrines. These are the point. These are the important things which we can apply over any kind of transaction mentioned in the Transfer of Property Act, and section 5 to 37 are equally applicable to movable as well as immovable properties. In next class we will discuss the next doctrine. Thank you.